From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Megan Stedman's family sits down with Jolie Salee to talk about her life and what the future holds.
I'm Jane McDonald outside of the Gallatin County Detention Center. We're going to be discussing ICE holds. Now, just what is an ICE hold and how does that impact our local court system? Well, we're going to be delving into that next.
Get your skates sharpened, your skis waxed. It's time for Butte's annual Winter Festival.
I could watch John spin around on that rink all day.
I'm actually very impressed. John Amy.
Brings me a smile to my face. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, about 6:30 today, and it's looking, it's chilly outside, but compared to last Friday, Matt, I'm optimistic.
And I'm looking at the longer term push on this, and I think that we warm up pretty significantly today. The weekend's going to be nice. It's just cold this morning, single digits. That's good. We may see some wind chill values below zero. Most of us into the single digits. There are some snow chances today. It's pretty limited, so don't look for a lot of accumulation or impacts from that. We really have to deal with what's already on the ground. Temperatures today should top out into the 20s in Bozeman. We'll be close to the 30-degree mark in Butte as we're seeing more and more cloud cover, more and more moisture in our skies, mainly in the form of cloud cover, but that means warmer temperatures. I'm going to break it all down for you. Take a look at our drought conditions, snowpack. That's all coming up in the next 12 minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now, new this morning, we have the latest on a pursuit on Highway 287 that sent a sheriff's deputy to the hospital and left the suspect dead at the scene. Now, according to a press release, yesterday afternoon, a Broadwater sheriff's deputy was hit head-on while in pursuit of a suspect on Highway 287. The press release states that the suspect was traveling at a high rate of speed, and they swerved toward the deputy, who was struck head-on. The deputy was then transferred to the hospital and was released with minor injuries, and the suspect was found deceased on impact. Now, at this point, names have not been released, as this is an active investigation. And Megan Stedman, who was found murdered in Idaho, was last seen in the Bozeman-Livingston area. Now her family is in Idaho Falls. MTN's Jolie Salee spoke with the family, who shared what this time in Idaho means to them and about their hopes for the future.
Megan Stedman, the woman found dead in Idaho Falls, has a strong family rallying for justice. Right now, the family is in Idaho Falls as the investigation continues. They told me their focus is on honoring Megan and keeping her memory alive.
My sister was a beautiful, black, strong woman. And I want people to know that. Like, she's not just a woman, she's a beautiful, black, strong queen. And we're going to honor all of her.
On December 15th, 34-year-old Megan Stedman disappeared. At the time, she had been working at a gas station in Livingston. On January 12th, Megan's body was discovered in her camper in Idaho Falls. According to arrest documents, 42-year-old Chris Foyles told the police he stabbed Megan multiple times. Megan's brother, sister, and soon-to-be sister-in-law arrived in Idaho Falls on the 17th to meet with detectives. But to them, their time in Idaho Falls goes beyond the logistics. It's about finding peace.
We can go meet where at least the RV was. In this case, we're probably just going to go see the site where that was, and the only other site that we know that she was at in Island Park. Just kind of get a feel and maybe try to heal in that way.
The family plans on holding a private ceremony with the help of friends with the Shoshone-Bannock tribe.
Our ancestors and our spiritual guides are with us, and we hope like we can bring some peace to her and to other people in our family.
In the future, Megan's family says they want to honor and advocate for those who never got to find their missing person.
It's a systemic issue. Women of color, women who don't have privilege, or even women who have privilege. It's real. Domestic violence is real.
But at this time, Megan's family refuses to focus on the negativity. Instead, they plan on basking in Megan's light and making sure it continues to shine.
I will shimmer up for my sister. She loves shimmer. You know, she loved gloss and shimmer and lipstick and shiny shoes and golden heels. And I mean, she was royalty. She was a queen, and she laughed. And we're going to keep doing that.
In Bozeman, Jolie Salee, MTN News.
And a man accused of stabbing a 19-year-old to death in a Bozeman home in July of 2022 has pleaded guilty. Francisco P Canales entered a change of plea in Gallatin County District Court. According to the Attorney General's office, who prosecuted the case, P Canales tracked his estranged wife with a GPS device planted on her car. It led him to a home on Bozeman's west side. There, he discovered she and the victim were in a relationship. Canales stabbed the victim, 19-year-old lesbian Joan Escobar Andara. Canales, an illegal immigrant, is currently being held in the Gallatin County Detention Center on an Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE hold. Now, if he is paroled at any time, he would likely be deported and barred from receiving legal immigration status into the United States in the future. Sentencing is set for March 18th of 2024, where both the state and defense will recommend Canales be sentenced to the Montana State Prison for a total of 40 years, with 10 years suspended. Now, 6 people, including P Canales, or about 4% of the Gallatin County Detention Center population, are being held on ICE holds. I spoke with the Gallatin County Sheriff to learn more about the court process for these defendants who are in the United States illegally.
Illegal immigration, it's a big issue for many people, especially during 2024 being an election year. But in states like Montana, it rarely makes headlines. But local law enforcement tells us that they're seeing more and more inmates end up here at the Gallatin County Detention Center who receive ICE holds.
So oftentimes when typically we're running into them on some kind of a other local crime, whether that's a traffic event or if it's some kind of a domestic situation, who knows what it could be.
It's during processing where the detention center and deputies get alerted of potential immigration status issues.
You recognize that they don't have the driver's license, or even if they do, they're not coming up in the system, or they'll come up in the system as an undocumented individual. So
then Homeland Security is contacted, and Sheriff Springer says it's up to immigration officials to place a hold on the individual. So what is an ICE hold? Well, according to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, an ICE hold or detainer is used when the Department of Homeland Security intends to assume custody of a person from another federal, state, or local law enforcement agency. DHS can request that the inmate be detained for up to an additional 48 hours after they would otherwise be released. But what about the local charges that these individuals face? Well, every case is different, and there are multiple factors to take into consideration, but Sheriff Springer says that the individual will go through the court system, and if they are found guilty on the crime that they've committed in Montana, they will serve their time in Montana. Following their sentence, ICE would be notified, and Homeland Security would then take them through their process.
We're seeing a lot of illegal individuals from multiple countries, not just Mexico, but certainly seeing plenty of illegals here in Montana and certainly in Bozeman.
Sheriff Springer also notes the different services available for those here legally on working visas and companies that hire migrants for work.
Oftentimes you'll see people talking about they're all illegal. Well, that's not true. There are a lot of people working here on proper visas, proper documentation.
In Bozeman, Jane McDonald, MTN News.
And the Town Pump Charitable Foundation announced Thursday that it's giving 13 $10,000 grants to homeless shelters and warming centers across the state. MTN News caught up with Bill McGlattery at the corporate office in Butte on Thursday, and he says Town Pump wants to help ease the strain that the recent cold snap has placed on Montana's homeless population. The grants will help shelters and warming centers cover extra expenses they may have this winter.
It's part of the focus of our foundation is to help meet the basic needs of Montana citizens, and certainly having a warm place to sleep and a hot meal during this cold weather is very much a basic need.
McGlattery says this is the first time the foundation has worked with the Livingston Warming Shelter, and he says he spoke with many shelters and they told him that people have been very generous with donations of food, clothing, and blankets this winter, but the cash grant from Town Pump will really help. And just because it's cold doesn't mean you have to stay at home. MTN's John Amy tells us about an event in Butte that encourages people to embrace the winter activities.
The Zamboni driver is getting the ice smooth. There's snow on the ground, the weather is chilly. It must be time for Butte's annual Snow Flinga Winterfest. And it's here to show you that even though it's cool outside, there's plenty of cool things to do.
It's celebrating all things winter, basically. So there's a lot of different outdoor and indoor active winter activities going to be offered to people.
Beginning January 19th and continuing throughout the weekend, people will get a chance to participate in some free winter events throughout the city.
Cross-country skiing, there's skate skiing up at Homestake Lodge. There's going to be a lot of kid events going on at Stodden Park, along with a Montana polar plunge event, raising money for the Special Olympics here in Montana.
The event is run by the Butte Community Fitness Foundation with this one message.
Get out and be active through winter. It's easy to stay inside and kind of not do a whole lot, but it's an awful long time to be doing that.
The Zamboni was already getting the ice ready at the High Altitude Ice Center, where opening ceremonies will begin at 5 o'clock January 19th.
We've got a bonfire, we've got a concession, we've got skate rentals, we have a lot of people that come down, and it's a fun night.
Ben admits it's cool to be the Zamboni driver, and everybody loves the Zamboni.
It's just something that, it's a unique thing, it's unique. It's a nice piece of machinery that produces good ice, and that's fun, right?
You can find out when and where the events are happening at the Snow Flinga website. In Butte, John Amy, MTN News.
Alrighty, it is 6:41. Now we're going to take a short break here on Montana This Morning, but when we come back, it may be the winter, but a lot of people are already thinking about their summer plans, and some people might be thinking of grabbing some concert tickets. Well, we have some tips so you don't waste your money.
I'm John Matarese. Looking to buy tickets to the hottest concerts this summer? Well, we have a warning about why you need to be so careful on the resale market.